Fans on field 3, we are underway with Borussia Dortmund taking on Newtown Pride FC. In the 4th minute, we are 0-0. And fans on field 4, kickoff in just a few moments will be the Hoosiers Army taking on Kingdom FC in a Group A Round 2 battle. Kickoff is set for 5:30 p.m. And a score update, fans on field 1 inside the stadium.
Number 28, Jack.
We have a Wolverhampton
goal.
In the 19th minute by Jack Hodnett, assisted by Adeline Guediora. The score, Wolverhampton 2, Blading Grass FC 1 in the 19th minute.
At the half, the score, Wolves 2, Blading Grass FC 1.
And fans on field 1, at halftime, it's Wolverhampton 2, Blading Grass FC 1.
Here's some tape for you. Tape is fine.
Set by anything 1, and choose Bulldogs. First team to reach that target score is our winner. The Greater Raleigh Sports Alliance welcomes all the teams on the family. This is one of the best. Check out GreaterRaleigh.com for all the info you'll need for your retirement care. Renegade GK is a proven part of TST, because like us, this tournament is exciting and different. Come check us out and take advantage of the special 20% TST discount off all Renegade GK gloves. Be sure to make your way over to the soccer.com merchandise bin, located near the entrance to purchase all occasion TST and apparel on site. North Carolina FC is proud to have current and former coaches, players, and staff participating in TST. Visit ncfc.com to learn more about soccer programs for kids of all ages and abilities.
Fans, as things on field 4 are getting closer to kickoff, between the Hoosiers Army taking on Kingdom FC. On field 5 at 6 p.m., the DMV Diplomats will be taking on Vieta FC. Again, kickoff at 6 p.m. on field 5. Checking in on field 3 in the 10th minute of play. Borussia Dortmund and Newtown Pride FC. We are 0-0. And on field 1 inside the stadium, at halftime, Wolverhampton Wanderers FC 2, Blade & Grass FC 1.
And we welcome you back to Cary, North Carolina, the beautiful WakeMed Soccer Park, the perfect setting for TST. Second round, Group A, it's the Hoosier Army taking on Kingdom FC. Both winners of their first game, both looking for that all-important second win as they look to advance out of group play where the top two teams do indeed advance. Indiana and Kingdom FC, as you take a look at the groups. A lot of surprises, all the big names from international, most of them all lost, including the Hoosier Army taking down Borussia Dortmund in convincing fashion. We've also seen West Ham lose as well, and we've seen Wolves FC lose. Of course, in Group A, this is a swing game, these two teams getting their opening wins. Hoosier Army with 3, Kingdom FC with 3. Of course, a win in this game would push one of them at 6 and make them feel pretty good about heading in to their final game tomorrow morning. It is a great honor to be presenting the Indiana Hoosiers, just emceed their 50th anniversary. A team of excellence, a dynastic program, 8 national championships, 17 Big Ten regular season titles, 15 Big Ten tournament champions, and an NCAA tournament record of 136-7. The man that we're keeping an eye on in this game is Nikita Kotloff. He scored the game winner in the 2012 National Championship game, assisted by Patrick Duty, my broadcast partner, and also Eric Zavaleta. And Nikita Kotloff drew the penalty kick in the first game as well. So Nikita Kotloff will not start, but we will see him play a big role in this one. And what a story Kingdom FC is. They have a huge following organized by the Calafiori brothers, known for their roles on MTV's The Challenge, Traders, Fear Factor, and Big Brother. Both Paulie and Cody played D1 college soccer and are using their connections to build a team of ex-MLS pros and Division I players. You'll recognize them. Unfortunately, Paulie got 2 yellows, and the former star at Rutgers will not play. Cody, who played at Temple, will play, and a man who came up with the first goal in their 2-1 opening game is Mr. Schmidt. You see him right there, Thomas Schmidt. Scored the equalizer in the 39th minute, and then, of course, they would go on and get the winner. Daniel Steedman, who played for North Carolina FC, got the winner. We'll see him off the bench for Kingdom FC. What about the rules? As this has been so much fun. The rules are outstanding. 7v7, 20-minute halves, no offside, no throw-ins, free substitution, which is outstanding, and every game ends in target score time. What does that mean? Well, it means every game ends with a goal. It's hard to top that, as it has been exciting. And here's the deal. They set the target score. If it's 4-2, the target's 5. And until you get to 5, if they go 5 minutes, they'll go down to 6. They'll go down to 5. They'll go down to 4. We've seen games on this field go down to 3 players, and they finally found their winner, as it adds an extra layer of excitement to the first ever TST. Revolutionary in so many ways, and indeed an honor to be with you all. My name is Dean Linke, and the Indiana Hoosiers, who know WakeMed Soccer Park well. They were in the national championship game in December right here and lost a heartbreaker to Syracuse. And in the COVID year, They were also here, played almost all of their games, if not all of their games, at Wakemed Soccer Park, maybe even some on part of this field as it's broken down into 7v7, and they lost in the national championship that game to Marshall. But they've won 8 titles. They've been to 17 national championships, and as I said, just celebrated 50 years on May 19 and 20, an incredible celebration organized by the GM of the team, Todd Yeagley, who is the head coach and was the head coach of that 2012 national team. And, of course, 6 of the 8 national championships go to the Godfather. You see Susie and Todd, you just saw him a moment ago. There's Kevin Noshang. He scored the first ever goal for Indiana on the Big Ten Network in a 1-0 game over UCLA in Bloomington. Good to see Kevin Noshang. And then how about Kingdom FC? As I mentioned, behind the great work of the social media superstars, the Calafiori brothers, they will be hosting tryouts for their squad coming into this and did do that, and they have created amazing content and a mini reality TV show. So you talk about people that understand the importance of social media and influence. The Calafiori brothers have it down. All right, so that'll set the table. Indiana in white, Kingdom FC in their dark with white shorts. The starting lineup is underway. We just saw Mitchell Cupstis in goal, as they also have Adam Abdouawi out there starting, Coley Calafiori, Nathan Bordeaux, Thomas Schmidt, who scored the game winner in game 1, Alberto Roldan, and Alex Ramos. Those are the starters for Kingdom FC. For the Hoosier Army, Christian Lomelli is an assistant coach with the full team in Indiana. Frankie Moore, number 20, is just a rock. Grant Lillard, all Big Ten defender and Big Ten Defender of the Year. Jeremiah Gutjahr, who played with Chicago Fire and is now part of the coaching staff and operations for Indiana. Austin Pancho, who played with North Carolina FC, and right in front, trying to get to it, was Thomas Ward. So that's the starting lineup. Indiana on the bench has Corey Thomas, who had a couple helpers. Harrison Petz, one of the true good people of the world. Joris Linby, who only played a few games for Indiana, but it counts. Joshua Gadd, Kevin Noshang, Kyle Sparks, Louis Softner, Matt McCain, Ryan Wittenbrink did the Penguin as he got 2 in that first game, and Trevor Swartz, that great left foot, wearing number 21. Shot going off of War, and pretty cool to just a week ago be in Bloomington hanging out with these incredible young men and their families, and what a family it is, and now have the opportunity to call their second game after that massive win over Dortmund, where they were in control and feeling good. People are starting to talk about Indiana. They were talking about them earlier, but they're definitely starting to talk about them now. Meanwhile, Kingdom FC, got to give them some love, as they got that opening win 2-1, 1-1, and then with the target score 2-1, they got it done despite losing Paulie Calafiori to a red card, as he has to sit this one out. All right. So Kingdom FC with the first shot. There's Christian Lomelli. Lomelli with a big save, and Lomelli's got it. So a massive save for Lomelli, who is a true Hoosier, part of the coaching staff, and another one of those wonderful human beings. Those are the kind that Indiana has always recruited. Anybody that follows them even just a little bit knows that about them, and that started with Jerry Yeagley and his wonderful wife Marilyn. 3 minutes in, and on the ball right now is Schmidt, and Schmidt will lose it out of bounds to the Hoosiers. Schmidt scored the equalizer. Frankie Moore. There's Grant Lillard, played in the MLS. Pancho played right here for North Carolina FC. Linby goes down.
Fans on field 3, coming to the end of the first half. We got a tight match.
Really an impressive win when you think about the win they had over Dortmund. Wittenbrink with 2 goals, Gutjahr with 1, Moore with 1, and Gatt got 1. Corey Thomas, a player that I always admired for his kind of no-nonsense grit, had 2 assists in that 5-2 win over Dortmund, sending a message, and a big one indeed. 4 minutes in. They play it to Schmidt. Schmidt defended in the middle of the field there by Jeremiah Gutjahr. This will fall to Pancho, and it's 1-0 Indiana. Austin Pancho getting it done, and here comes the Hoosiers. Austin Poncho had a brother who starred for Stanford and won some national championships, was a big-time player, but Austin is a big-time player in his own right and scores a nice goal. Played a couple years for North Carolina FC, a team that I've covered since 2007, and that team had a big win, 6-3 over Charlotte FC today in a different group. And Poncho, by the way, that team had Brian Ackley on it, and Ackley scored a goal for the North Carolina FC team, another former Hoosier, as it's hard to get them all when you're that good. Lee Wynn playing with A.J. De La Garza's team, another outstanding Hoosier, and away we go. We'll keep on listing them. A little pass here and an extra pass. It's going to go back to Indiana. Tremendous start for the Hoosiers in this game and a tremendous start in the first game. Indiana, 50 years of excellence. They're coached by Kevin Robeson, who's the associate head coach for the Indiana men's soccer program. Robeson just completed his 9th season as head coach Todd Yeagley's assistant a year ago. During his time on the staff, Indiana has a record of 131, 31, and 36. As a player, Kevin Robeson was a member of IU's back-to-back NCAA championship in 2003 and 2004, as well as 5 Big Ten titles. He scored 7 goals with 16 assists, and Indiana had a 64, 14, and 15 record in those 4. There is Roby, as he's known. Another outstanding citizen, human being, and a whistle called against Kingdom FC. Gutyar, Jeremiah Gutyar, over to No Shang. No Shang into the game. No Shang, part of that. One of the first games on BTN back in the day, Kevin Doshang with the game winner over UCLA in front of a packed crowd. It's great to reminisce with him about that as Kingdom is over the ball. 1-0, Austin Poncho with the goal. Frankie Moore solidifying that back line for Indiana. He'll get it to No Shang. No Shang. Try to cut it back in. Kevin Noshang, he's the most senior Hoosier on the squad, representing the 05 to 08 team. He'll play alongside Ryan Wittenbrink, who was part of Indiana's run to the NCAA College Cup last fall, and a man who had 2 goals in the first game, and he broke out the Penguin already, which is a famous celebration of his. I definitely was on the Ryan Wittenbrink train a year ago. Linby waiting on Frankie Moore. Frankie Moore, part of that storied history of that 6'8" pivot player that just is the heart of the team, and had to be one of the first people that Harrison Petz and Roby and Todd Yeagley were calling as they put this together. 1-0, as you see the scores up on the top of your screen, and then you'll see the schedule down on the bottom of your screen. Frankie Moore pretty much already had a job coming out of Indiana. Kind of took a look at the pro scene, but this guy's got a great head on his shoulders. In the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, Frankie Moore. No throw-in, so Indiana will kick it in. We played 8 minutes here. I'll be with you for 4 in a row on this field. And Indiana looking for their second, and they are absolutely cranking it. We came on the air talking about Nikita Kotlov, and he pays it off with the second goal of the game. Nikita Kotlov always has it ready and makes it look easy. What a player for Indiana as Nikita Kotlov makes it 2-0 Hoosiers. Brilliance in action right there by Kotlov. Absolutely wonderful finish. We'll see how the Kingdom responds. Indiana looks tight. They look clean.
We are just minutes away from the start of second half action between Borussia Dortmund and Newtown Pride FC. Currently deadlocked 0-0.
Kingdom FC, let's see if they have an answer. Lomelli got it started with that big-time save when it was still zeros, and the team responded, paying Lomelli off with not 1 but 2 goals. Dropped back over. Picked up Or second by Indiana, one back by Kingdom FC. Kingdom FC, Lamelli again. Lamelli saying essentially not in my house. As we mentioned, this has kind of become Indiana's house. As not one but two national championship games. Of course, they came up just a little bit short, but we won't talk about that. Talk about the fact that they've been to 17 national championship games. War with a little bit of pressure and knocked out of bounds. We were wondering about, fatigue on the second game, and dare I say, Indiana looks like they could play 3 more. They look fresh. Thomas, and there's Wittenbrink, first team all Big Ten. A player that before last year was kind of a player that would come off the bench, but he was just too good. And Lamelli is on fire. He had a beat on that one. It was knocked out for a corner kick, but Lamelli feeling it for the Hoosiers. As you see Coca-Cola across the crest, pay off Amber Steele, who was a manager with Indiana way back in the day, worked for FIFA, worked for U.S. Soccer, and now is a bigwig with Coca-Cola. A ton of bigwigs coming out of Indiana. Mark Cuban is a name that comes to mind, who has voiced his support for this team.
Inside the stadium, we have a Bleeding Grass FC goal.
Throw in far side or no throw-ins, kick-in.
Assisted by Joe Henry.
If I say throw-in, I mean kick-in. You're with me, I know it. Bomb long. As Indiana was trying to find the head there of Joshua Gatt. Gatt had one of the 5 goals in the 5-2 win over Dortmund. A similar story in that one where Indiana just came out on fire, and they've done the same thing here with an added bonus of Lamelli being really, really good. Visited with the Indiana team last night and really got a good take on it. There's Lamelli again on just how detailed. Well, first of all, I got really good idea of the detail being part of the 50. There's a foul on Indiana by Grant Lillard, and he's going to get a yellow card.
Fans, we are off for second half action on field 3.
So Lillard with the yellow card will be a dangerous free kick.
Pride FC.
But spending a little extra time with the GM, Todd Yeagley, afterwards, the detail that they put in, just understanding the rules of this TST tournament. I mean, they are all in. The university is all in. Really impressive.
And we are moments away from kickoff on field.
Lamelli again. Lamelli. What is that? 5 saves already? And it's Frankie Moore saying, get it out of here. Frankie Moore with the save in front of Lamelli. Lamelli and Moore again. And headed away again. Wittenbrink will send it out of bounds over near Todd Yeagley. And Indiana is flying right now here at the TST. This is awesome. Kingdom still very much in it. They've looked dangerous, but Lamelli looks like he could be playing in the indoor game professionally, huh? Lamelli. We'll drop it over to Frankie Moore. Here's Corey Thomas. Thomas, really good to spend a little extra time with him last night. Nice young man, kind of dances to his own tune, but his own tune is a pretty good one. He's a solid player for Indiana, whether starting or coming off the bench. Always had a lot of time for him. Frankie Moore, Thomas behind, and Moore will have that one knocked out of bounds. The kick in will come for the Hoosiers, who look very much in control. It's a deep team, this Indiana team. Spinning with it. Squared back over. Poncho's got one. That one deflected. It'll come back to Kingdom FC. Kingdom FC now on the ball. That's number 4, Nathan Bordeaux. As he'll bring it back to number 2, Kyle Parker. If you're wondering about Paulie Calafiori, again, 2 yellows for the former Rutgers star. He's out. Thomas will square it. Was looking for Linby. Sparks is in the game now. He just recently got married. Congratulations to Mr. Sparks and his new bride. A great celebration. Patrick Duty who is on the bench, scored that big winner, was the best man, big-time speech. Oh, Austin Pacho, have yourself a day. Volley it to yourself and finish it. Pacho's got 2, and it's 3-0. Hoosier Army on top. Indiana rolling at Wake Med. Pacho, as I mentioned, played 2 years here at North Carolina FC. Played one of those years with Timmy Mel, who, if he wasn't still playing in USL League One, he'd be here too. You know it. And I bet Timmy Mel's watching this game, as we say hello to him, as those two were teammates at the same time. A lot of Indiana love coming. Wow, nifty little backheel, clever, and it goes out of bounds. Lomelli was a little worried that they were calling a penalty, but they were just calling a corner as Lomelli got there first. Lomelli's getting to everything. And fair play from Lomelli. Well done, checking on the Kingdom FC player. Lomelli has been outstanding. 3-0 in front of him, but he has made some quality saves. This Kingdom FC team is decent, I think even the Godfather would say, but Lomelli's saying, no, nuh-uh, with just 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Shot from distance. And there's been several shots, and that one will go out. The Indiana faithful, they travel well, including, as there he is, you know him from Big Brother. Man, he was fun to watch. I think my wife's pretty excited as well to be out at this game, not just to see Indiana, but to see Mr. Calafiore, Cody Calafiore, who played at Temple. He's been on just about all those reality shows. The Challenge, Traders, Fear Factor, Big Brother. Both of them on the All-Star for Big Brother. I can't even keep track of all the reality shows the Calafiore's have been on. But they both did play D1 soccer. Rutgers now in the Big Ten, where Paulie played. Talked to him a little bit about the fact that Rutgers did beat Indiana in the Big Ten final in Piscataway. Jim McKeldry's done a really good job at Cody's, or at Paulie's alma mater. This one back to Kingdom. Remember, Lillard did get that yellow card, so it's worth paying attention to that as Olinby gets taken down. 17th minute, that's Patton on the foul, wearing number 12. Spencer Patton, a defender. Want to keep an eye out for Daniel Steedman, who also played with North Carolina FC. This Wakeman Soccer Park is the home to North Carolina FC, who has played in the NASL and USL Championship. USL League One is where they currently are, and they're at top of the table. As you take a good look there at number 9 for Indiana, Thomas Ward.
Fans on field 3, the clock has stopped. While the referees and coaches sort everything out, in the 23rd minute, we are 0-0.
Good build up here. Far side. Played over and knocked out of there. Sent out of bounds by Grant Lillard. Quick kick in. Coming for Kingdom, as that's Adam Abdoawi, Georgia Southern player. Tucking back in and ripped out of there by Lillard. Side of his foot goes the other way. It'll come back again to Kingdom. We're in minute 18, a pretty solid start for the Hoosier Army as they'll take it away. Olinby with the rip. Is he going to drop it to War? He is, and War says, just misses right there. Olinby, what a drop. And War, nice little player. You give him that shot 9 more times, he's probably going to make 8 of them. Missed that one. Nikita Kotlov back into the game. All he did was walk in, score, and then immediately walked off. Classic Kotlov. Another shot, and Lomelli all over it. I mean, the ball is like a watermelon to that young man, Lomelli, who is molding young men now, part of Todd Yeagley's staff. They love him in Bloomington. Long ball over the top. Indiana. Wittenbrink wants a little touch. Wittenbrink has just not that long ago, hung up the shoes. He started the season in USL and saw him in Bloomington. And I'm telling you, this guy could catch on, but he's such a smart guy. Comes from another wonderful family. Really enjoyed meeting his parents last year at the College Cup final right here at Wake Med. Ryan Wittenbrink. This is beyond fun, this TST. I mean, it is so cool what they did. It worked so well for TBT, and they decided to make it happen for soccer, and I think it's going to be a regular feature. It is awesome with a capital A. It'll slide over. Frankie Moore on the mark. Frankie still got it. Does enough to play some interference in front of Lomelli, who would have had it anyway. We're in minute 20. It's 3-0 Hoosier Army, looking in great form. Nick Forbes, our outstanding producer director, telling me 1 minute of stoppage time, and they've been pretty quick on that as well. That's been a nice part of this. They don't labor on with that 1 minute. Pretty nice and tidy, kind of like the way I've been describing Indiana here in this start. And it's not like Kingdom FC has been poor. They've been quality, but Indiana has just been better.
Fans on field one. At the end of regulation, your score is Blade and Grass FC 3, Wolves FC 2.
Today has been mixed with a little bit of rain here and there, and then the sun will come out, and a little rain will come back, and that's kind of normal. As somebody who's been calling games here since 1999, and when it opened in 2001 with the WSA Carolina Courage, it is normal to have some weather and sometimes some lightning, and I can't believe I just said that, but that is one thing they've avoided so far. Hopefully we can get through tonight without any of that. I'm going to get blamed, I think, by Nick Forbes and the crew for that does happen.
And over on field 5.
A few seconds remaining here. A tremendous performance. 2 goals from Austin Poncho. Brilliant goals, in fact. And a goal from Nikita Kotlov. And it's 3-0. Step over for Indiana, trying to make it 4-0, and Kotlov was there, and that will wrap up the first half. The Hoosier Army, they have a lot of fans here, and they've got a big-time team as they're coming off their 50th celebration, looking fresh. We're going to step aside here at halftime of the TST. Second game in group play. It's Hoosier Army 3, Kingdom FC 0.
Fans on field 3, we're back in action. 6-on-6 between Borussia Dortmund and Newtown Pride FC. We are locked at 0-0 in the 23rd minute. A great match full of a lot of emotions happening on field 3. And on field 5, we have a DMV Diplomats goal. Goal scored in the 8th minute by Dalton Pando. Your score on field 5, DMV Diplomats 2, Yetta FC 0 in the 8th minute. fans on field 4, we're at halftime where Hoosier Army is leading Kingdom FC 3-0. Stay tuned on that one. We have second half action coming up shortly. And on field 1 inside the stadium, fans, we're at the start. We're at the start of target score time between Blade and Grass FC and the Wolves FC. The score is Blade and Grass 3, Wolves 2. The target score time score. Target score is 4. First team to 4 will win. And on field 3, we have a Newtown Pride FC goal. Goal scored in the 25th minute. Your score, Newtown Pride FC 1, Borussia Dortmund 0. Fans on field 4 are getting set for second half action as the Hoosiers Army takes on Kingdom FC. Your current score, Hoosiers 3, Kingdom 0. And on field 3, it's a Newtown Pride goal, scored in the 28th minute. Your score, Newtown Pride FC 2, Borussia Dortmund 0. And we still have a strong game going on field 1 in the stadium where Blade and Grass FC is leading Wolves FC 3-2. The target score is 4. Neither team giving up. That's on field 1. And on field 3, we have a Newtown Pride goal,
Welcome back to WakeMed Soccer Park. Second half, they were ready to go. They did not want to wait the full time. Both these teams were out there. That's kind of been a common theme for these teams. I love it, as Poncho's got 2 already, and he comes out flying 3-0. 2 goals by Poncho and 1 goal by Kotlov. Almost double-digit saves for Lamelli, as Lamelli looks really good. Halftime was able to actually call Maryland and Jerry Higley and break down the game. That was fun. As you know, a lot of people in Bloomington are watching. A lot of people from Bloomington are at this game, as it's Hoosier Army 3, Kingdom FC 0, TST happening right now at WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, and it is just fantastic. 32 teams, 8 groups of 4. Top 2 teams in each group will advance to the knockout round. What are we playing for? $1 million split up amongst the team. Indiana, Touch of Class, has already said they're going to donate a pretty solid percentage back to the university in one of their special causes, which is pretty phenomenal, as it's headed out of bounds. Indiana quickly with a kick in. Wittenbrink was lurking in front of the goal. They can't quite get to him. There's Gutjahr, looking exactly like he did when he played for Indiana. Now part of the coaching staff. Gutjahr with the hammer. I thought maybe that was going to find the back of the net. And Indiana comes right back out the same way they started. They are so deep, as it's a little different starting lineup. This team haven't even said the name Kevin Alston yet. Matt McCain is there. Louis Softner, the backup goalie. Trevor Swartz with that wonderful left foot. Just magical, an assist machine. And Harrison Petz, really big time, if any time at all, as this will go off at
Far East
4.
United defeated West Ham 4-2. Conrad and Beasley defeated Gracie
Linby,
FC 4-3.
Austin, Gatt, Gutjahr, Kotlov, Lillard, Lamelli, McCain, Moore, Noshane, Poncho, Petz, Softner, Sparks, Swartz, Thomas, Wittenbrink, and Ward. Lillard's got the yellow card. Kingdom FC trying to keep it alive. There's Frankie Moore will knock it out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick. Corner kick, Kingdom FC.
3-2, Sayward FC defeated US Women.
There's Gutjahr, who with Lamelli currently serve on the IU men's soccer staff under the GM, Todd Yeagley, who is really loving this, soaking it in. He actually said that it felt a little bit like kind of being like his dad, who likes to attend practice kind of from a distance, stay out of the way, not bother anybody. And that's kind of what he did. He got there a little bit late after they started practice, and he went and kind of hung out. And there was a little bit of rain, so he was under the tent and didn't bother them, and just soaking it all in. Really cool to see.
Your score, DMV Diplomats 3, Vieta FC 0.
That's Todd Yeagley right over there in the red jacket, taking a look at the time.
And on field 4 in the 24th minute of
Gutjahr
play,
brings it
Hoosier
down.
Army 3, Kingdom FC 0.
Poncho. Got a little pep in his step, back at a place where he played professionally for a couple
And
years.
on field 3, we had a Newtown Pride
Poncho.
FC goal. Goal scored in the 32nd minute. Your score, Newtown
Patrick Duty, who had the hockey assist on the 2012 National Championship game, is also over there. He broke his ankle a couple years ago and still has some metal in there, so he had to pull out as a player. But he is the key part. Indiana forever known for their great 6s and 8s, O'Rourke and Porter and Stollmeyer and a million more that I'm missing. But then over the years, they started becoming left back U with Estridge and Duty and Gutman, who won the Mac Herman Trophy. There's Duty in the black shirt sitting on the bench. Great job by Nick Forbes, our producer director, to find Patrick Duty. A true performer. Kingdom FC. A lot of the players brought their wives with them as well. Chloe Duty in town. Kane's wife in town. Oh, there's a good finish. You knew Kingdom had a little fire, and they had some ability, and that's Alberto Morales-Roldan with the goal. A nice little bender side netting, and I don't think there's any goalie out there that was going to stop that one, even the red-hot Lamelli. As well done for number 13, Kingdom FC, who looked really good in the first half, so you knew they were not going to disappear, and they pull one back. It's 3-1, and remember, with target scoring, when this one ends, put the target up one goal ahead of who's ever leading the game, keeps everybody alive. Frankie Moore with a good shot, and save there. So Kingdom FC's pulled one back, and then a big save. Can they get momentum behind him? Taken away. Thomas plays it over to Lindby. Lindby, good tackle coming in, and referee letting him play here, and looked like a foul on Pets. Pets, who really is the man who stepped up in a big way to get things rolling, and well, it was so fascinating hearing about how incredible he is, how incredible his wife is, how incredible his kids are, and yet you wouldn't know it. They don't throw it in your face or anything like that. Just first class. Lillard. Drop back over to Pets. Lindby. So Pets if he needs him. Instead, they'll go for it. Thomas. He'll come all the way back to Grant Lillard.
In target score time, we are tied 3-3.
One back by Thomas. Thomas. Oh, I thought he was going to crank it. It is saved. It's a corner kick. I think that ended up being more of a pass, looking for No-Shang, as Thomas comes into this in really good shape. I told him last night, to me, he and McCain look smaller than when they left Indiana. I would love to have that problem.
That game in the 20th minute. And now officially, that's
Frankie Moore. I think Frankie's been in there for all of it. Look at that sandwich with Frankie and Lindby, as if they just played a game on the big stage yesterday. It's right in harmony. Thomas is going to make a nice run. Let's see if he gets it back. No-Shang's got his head down. No-Shang drops it. Thomas Lindby, and knocked out of bounds again. And really beautiful to watch, as now Kingdom wants a sub. Unlimited subs, which is a cool part of this. Luke Holmes will go off. And here's Stephen. We talked about him before. His father from Scotland, and he's got that hard Scottish accent. Really pleasant guy who has a ton of fields up in the Charlotte area, really involved in the youth game in a big way. Lindby transferred into Indiana. Had to sit out at quite a few games and never really got to see all the special qualities he had as a Hoosier, but once a Hoosier, always a Hoosier, I say. And it's cool that he's still part of it, and obviously looks great, in good form, and he's been solid here in this game, and from what I understand was pretty good in the first game as well. Kingdom FC did pull one back. Really a smokehouse goal by Alberto Morales-Roldan.
We are sitting at 3-1.
And so we're 3-1. As you hear the PA announcer here, getting some love to the Hoosier Army. Roldan, who played at Queen's University of Charlotte, and has also spent some time playing in Spain, as that will go out of bounds. Indiana will take their time, and you can see the referee. The rule is to kind of keep things moving within 5 seconds, and that's also part of the art of the game and kind of going inside the mind, those little kind of things, and it's the kind of thing that the Indiana team, they think about, they talk about. It's really cool to be around that mentality, just thinking about every aspect in the positive sense to have a positive outcome. that was one of the things they were talking about. What do you do? Do you know the 5 seconds that count when you touch the ball? Can you walk over to it? Can you not walk over to it? Really good conversation with Todd Yeagley, the GM of this team, but the head coach of the Indiana men's soccer team. Played for his father, and then two of his boys played for him. One's still there. Ben just graduated, and he's talking about coming to the North Carolina area. Great to have a Yeagley in North Carolina, no doubt. So speaking of Indiana, another part of the family, Don Rawson, a longtime right-hand man to the Godfather, made a surprise appearance at the dinner with the Hoosiers, wearing his Santa outfit. For those of you that follow Indiana and all their trips to those 17 college cups, he has made it a habit when he, I guess not all 17 of them, because some of them he was on the bench, but when he was no longer there, showing up in the Santa Claus outfit, and he had it on last night. Banger here again. Almost, but Lomelli was there, and it goes off of Kingdom. Mr. Rawson was a key part of that 50th year celebration, May 19 and 20 in Bloomington. Mr. Richardson, really tremendous speech. Great time visiting with Todd, and then capped off by the Godfather. Epic weekend. I think folks will be talking about it for a long, long time. The 50th celebration of Indiana's excellence. There's Todd Yeagley taking the GM role.
And fans on field
33rd minute.
That's the end of regulation.
So I can tell you that the Dortmund Newtown Pride FC game had a little bit of a scrum where we think, how many red cards? 3 or 4 red cards. Nothing major, like I don't think any punches landed, but a lot of pushing and shoving, and it took a while to get it all settled. So that'll be interesting as Indiana, if they can somehow pull this off, they'll play a Newtown Pride team that could be missing some players. Here's Wittenbrink. Everybody waiting to see if he can score one to do the Penguin. You'll know what I mean if he scores. Played in tight to Kotlov. Boy, he makes his minutes count. Hasn't played a ton, but when he's in there, still has it. Just a wonderful touch.
On field 5, we're getting ready for second half
Poncho.
action between the DMV Diplomats and Utah FC.
Kotlov squares it. He may have been thinking he can bend it in, or he had War there, but it goes all the way through. And now War is going to run off and let Pets come in.
The score on field 5 at halftime currently is DMV Diplomats 4.
I mean, when I say this team is deep, I'm talking there is no drop-off. And that is a key part of winning the 7v7. Bring in 18, and bring in 18 that can play. And I think you can say that about the Indiana 18. They are fit. There's No Sheng, the oldest player on the team, so he's kind of letting the young guys do it. Sparks looking on. Sparks won a national championship. And there's Lomelli. I mean, you talk about a guy who looks like he's built for the indoor game, Christian Lomelli. Got to keep his eye on the ball with Indiana, but this might spark some fire for Lomelli. He has looked really good. I mean, you knew that Lillard had the yellow card, so now he's out. So, again, it's the details, folks.
FC
Not saying he won't come back in, but you don't need to run your center back the whole time when you're as deep and talented as this team. You've got attacking players that can play on the back. Good little move and a finish there. Wow. This team is decent. Luke Holmes gets it by Lomeli. I mean, both finishes, side netting. And this team's got some fight. And with the target score, this is a very much wide open, 36 minute.
And over on field 4.
Tremendous finish.
Kingdom FC goal. Goal scored in the 36th minute.
So Holmes pulls one back. A couple stepovers here and knocked away by Indiana. Frankie Moore.
On field 4.
Abdel Aoui, good ball in. Lillard right back in. Good little move again. Oh, knocked down right there at the top of the 18. Good non-whistle there as it'll come back to Willard. 37th minute. It's 3-2. So Holmes with the second goal. Kofi over the ball. Won by Frankie Moore.
And on field 3.
If Frankie Moore has snuck off a little bit, I missed it. I think he may be one of those guys that
Newtown Pride
Kevin Robeson
is
is going to ride all the way home. Call that glue as he's on it now. Frankie Moore. Class. Olinby. That's a good move. Olinby with a little burst. Staying with it. Oh! And denied. Thomas. Yes! 4-2. Hoosier Army. Corey Thomas delivers for Indiana. What a finish for Thomas. 2 assists in the first game. I told you when he played for Indiana, had all the time in the world, even if he didn't start, just like the bite that he brought. And he brings it here. That is huge with perhaps a little bit of cushion if they can hold off Kingdom FC. Going to target time. Every game ends with a score. 1 goal on top of the leading score. So right now, if it ended, the target would be 5. The first of 5 would win. This after the 40 minutes are completed. Sparks on the turn. Sparks a little bit more on that touch, would have found Olinby breaking away. Olinby really was a key part of that Thomas goal. He was dangerous, and then Thomas with an extra little touch and blasted the finish. Yeah, well done to give some camera love to Olinby. (4-2). I'm going to tell you again that Kingdom FC is organized by the Calafury brothers, known for their roles on MTV's The Challenge, Traders, Fear Factor, and Big Brother. Both Paulie and Cody played D1 college soccer at Rutgers and Temple, respectively. That's Paulie in the white shirt, as Olinby is going to run out of steam and go out of bounds. They use their connections to build a team filled with some ex-MLS pros and D1 players. They also had tryouts that, of course, they turned into another social media influence opportunity, which is another key part of TST. I want to tell you, folks, yesterday, the work that these young, talented people were doing on social media, on all the platforms, too many for me to keep up with, was off the charts fantastic. 3-4 different rooms going on, and the Calafury brothers were eating it all up. It was cool. And then to have the U.S. women here, Heather O'Reilly, they lost, but they did not lack confidence, which was pretty cool. Almost chipped that one in. Olinby. It's been really good. 2 minutes of stoppage time, 2 minutes. As you see the referee holding up the 2 fingers, 2 minutes. Good ball. Kingdom FC has shown they don't need a ton of space to find the back of the net, and quite frankly, if it wasn't for Christian Lamelli, that little space, they would have more than the 2 goals. He stood on his head in the first half. The 2 goals against him, they're side netting with some heat on him. So I don't think there's anybody here at TST that could have stopped either one of them. Here's War. War had a pretty good opportunity in the first. He wouldn't mind having it back, and he's earned the corner. That works. Knowing you got 2 minutes of added time, that'll work. The referee knows it. Look at it. They're on it. They do not want any dilly-dallying as part of the TST. But now just 1 minute of added time left off the corner kick, and watch Indiana manage this more to Olinby. War was probably in a better spot if they somehow dummy that, but hard to know. Look at the crowd that this game has attracted here. People are having a good time. I'm having a good time. Hope you're having a good time watching on YouTube or Peacock. You see the Say Word team, the HBCU team out of Greensboro, 5-0 win. Team Dempsey, Chris Wondolowski, I called that game, folks. He had 3 goals. Robles took a shot to the head, and then Chris Wondolowski, who looks like he could come back tomorrow and score 2 goals in the MLS game, goes in to go. Robles is their only goalkeeper. He took a knot to his head. I'm telling you, it was the size of a baseball. So Wando goes in to go. They earn a penalty kick. He steps up to get the hat trick and then makes massive saves in the target time to give the win. And speaking of target time, that's where we had. The target is 5. The first one to 5 will win this game. Christian Lamelli, outstanding. And he's going to get some support. There's Louis Softer as well. Christian Lamelli feeling it. And the target will be 5.
First team to 5 will win the match.
I want to thank fellow broadcaster and outstanding statsman Mike Glennon for his great work over on Field 4. Nick Forbes and his incredible crew. We're not done here yet, as we got 3 more after this one right here on this field. And we also have target time. The target is 5 for the Hoosiers and for Kingdom FC. Target score is set. It's the leading team score +1. First to the target score wins. And if after 5 minutes they don't have it, they take a player off. 5 more minutes, they take another player. We have seen games get down to 3 on this field. Over on Field 3, we got down to 4 in the game where we thought it was going to eventually be Wondolowski all by himself, as he was a one-man show. It was incredible. Susie Yeagley, wife to Todd, and very much a part of everything that is successful, just the way Jerry and Marilyn were building this program. 10 years club, and then they become varsity, and 50 years later, dynasty. All right. Yeah, you can see this team's got some moxie. Kingdom Holmes had a nice goal, really cheeky move, really good player. Fantastic finish for Luke Holmes. Spent some time at University of Akron and also with the Wilmington Hammerheads. Christian Lamelli.
And fans over on Field 5. DMV Diplomats.
Yeah, nice job, Nick Forbes, keeping an eye on Lamelli. He has been outstanding. There's Lillard back out there. Wittenbrink coming out. Jeremiah Gutyar back out there for the target. Target's 5. First one to 5 wins. Indiana needs 1. Kingdom FC needs 3. I know all of you know your math and got that, but just making sure. Here's Gutyar. Gutyar's got Wittenbrink. He's also got Pancho. Pancho. Not only does Pancho have 2 goals, I mean, his second goal was a thing of beauty. Popped it to himself and then got his body through the ball and smoked it home. I'm not sure, but I feel like Pancho used to have in his bag of tricks the flip that you'll see. He did not bring that one out. Here is Wittenbrink. Wittenbrink crossing. Gutyar back to Wittenbrink. Wittenbrink, little fake, looking for options. Pretty good pass. Linby, oh, he had an opening. It was almost like he didn't realize he had juked the guy into the ground as he had a little bit of space. Good extra effort, though, by Daniel Steedman. Again, another player that used to play for North Carolina FC. North Carolina FC, by the way, they won their game against Charlotte FC, and their team in USL League One is top of the table. Great story under John Bradford. Harrison Petz wearing number 7. There's Roby, Kevin Robeson, the dudes in the black hat, sunglasses. Every single game on your way to $1 million in this winner-take-all format of the TST ends in a goal. Who doesn't love that?
We're in target score time. The target score is 5. First team to 5.
Target score is 5. Start to keep an eye on that 5 minutes when they start to pull players, because it really does open up the field. Another good connection there. Going to be to Pancho. Pancho to Wittenbrink. Wittenbrink. Taken away. Kingdom FC going the other way. Tackle by Moore. Foul called. Frankie didn't like it. And Sesko Moore, he was at the 50th. I didn't get to see him. I was a little sad about that, but got to see him last night. Little spin right here. Kingdom FC. And Frankie Moore will knock it out of bounds. Target score is 5. Linby. He'll drop it. War! And War wanted it so bad. Skies it just a little bit. He has put himself in good positions. He is in great shape, but I feel like you can say that about every player on this Hoosier team. So deep. Kotlov comes into the game now. Wearing number 12, Kotlov defensively.
Number 3, Rene Garcia. Number 19, Roberto Gonzalez.
Kingdom FC stringing some passes together. Knocked away by Indiana. I think we're getting pretty close to the 5 minutes. Check with our main man, Mr. Glennon. Keep an eye on the referee when he will.
We're getting close to the end of regulation. Your score, the DMV Diplomats.
Wittenbrink. 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 Denied right there. They wanted a handball. He didn't get it.
And on field 4, it has been a terrific match all game long. The current score.
You can hear the PA announcer. This has been a terrific match. Really quality. Fair play as well. Picked up by Lamelli. Part of the story here for the Hoosier Army, particularly in that first half that Indiana led 3-0. Kingdom FC scored 2 in the second half to 1 for Indiana. Thomas with a smoke show goal to make it 4-2 and set the target at 5. Good little back heel. Kotloff, side of his foot. Thomas to his left foot. I thought he had it right there. You do not mind seeing number 16 have the ball in that spot. Thought maybe he was going to first time it. When he did take the extra touches, they worked out, but didn't quite get his body over the ball, thus skying it. And now I believe they have pulled it. So now we're down to 6v6. So here we go. 6v6. Looked like a foul. We'll give it back to Indiana. They don't call it foul, but they do have the kick in. Again, no throw-ins, no slide tackles, unlimited substitution. All you got to do is cross the line, kind of hockey style, even. I mean, pretty close to that. Subs flow in and out, just real smooth. Lomelli. Not afraid to play it back to Lomelli. Thomas gets knocked to the ground. It'll be an Indiana opportunity here. Target score of 5. Kevin Robeson patrolling the sidelines for the Hoosiers.
And fans warming up on field 3.
Frankie Moore.
It is
A swing and a miss that time for Indiana. That was Joshua Gatt.
In a Group C matchup, kickoff is set for 6:45 p.m. Once again, that is
Kingdom FC trying to build it out of the back. This is clever work here. They'll stay with it. You can tell this Kingdom FC team has no plans of just tucking away here. They're going to continue to fight. A little bit of a shove right there. And then helping afterwards, Luke Holmes. Lillard. He's an important piece of this puzzle, so hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it's just a little bit of cramping. He does have the yellow card as well, so. All right, Lillard's going to come off, and Pets will come in. Pets. Calafiori. He was kind of the first out of the gate, at least the way I remember it, on Big Brother. He had major game. And then his brother Paulie started getting into the reality shows, and off they went. That's what they are now. They're reality superstars and make a tremendous living doing it. Different world we live in. Kotloff. Shot denied, headed down there by Pets. Thomas taken away. Kingdom FC right at Lomelli. Lomelli now to Thomas. Thomas, nutmeg. Extra point. And too strong though, and now he's going to run off to get a sub. Pretty soon, we're going to be down to 5v5. This is another reason why I talked about being 18 deep and keeping people healthy, keeping people away from red cards, because this target time can go on. I mean, you can end up adding 20, 25 extra minutes on the game. So when people say they're just 40 minutes, no, it's not even close to 40 minutes because of the cool target score. You got to work extra hard to get her done. And you got the lead, you get comfortable a little bit, and look out. Lomelli with a kick save and a beauty, knocked out of bounds. Lomelli, the man in charge, in goal for Indiana. More good work here for Kingdom FC, and lucky that time that it went under the foot of Thomas Schmidt, the man we featured in the open. Scored a goal in their big win in the first game. Now we go. So here we go. We're down to 5v5. And looks like Gutjahr will come off for Indiana. Those are always tough decisions as well. Who do you want to be part of that 5? Frankie Moore, one of them. All-Linby, who you can tell extremely fit. Pancho, who's got 2 goals. Can do a little bit of everything. That's what you want. You want players that can play anywhere when it's 5v5, because with no offside, it kind of becomes who's got better soccer players out there and better team chemistry. Good ball forward, and a good chance here, and Lomelli with another save. A brilliant save at the top of the goal box, sacrificing his body, and Lomelli, one of the stars of the game. Pancho. All-Linby leaning in, trying to get a bite. Looked like a little bit of foul. All-Linby keeps playing, and he'll sky that one. I just saw one of our producers this weekend, Ken Neal. Ken Neal actually produced that Indiana-UCLA game on what was technically the second official day of the Big Ten Network, but actually was the second soccer game, as he also produced an Ohio State-West Virginia game. Ken Neal, one of the best soccer producers out there. Great to have Mike Burks here. Great to have Nick Forbes on this one. He can do a little bit of everything as well. Here's Wittenbrink. Wittenbrink keeps it alive, trying to find Pancho. They're down to 5v5. I mean, it's wide open. Two-handed toss there from Lomelli. Frankie Moore. And Wittenbrink wants the corner. They don't give it to him. Wittenbrink always looks like he's just walking the dog, and yet he is putting in the full effort. Just kind of makes it look easy. That's out of bounds, so it'll be a kick in for Kotlov in Indiana. Target score is 5. That's where we've been for quite some time. We're down to 5v5 and not that far away from going 4v4. Lomelli has been brilliant. He's got to have double-digit saves. What do we got here?
6 goals will take home the win on field 5 between the DMV Diplomats and Vieta FC.
They're only given credit for 5 saves. No way. Thomas. Jeremiah Gutjahr. Thomas. Yeah, he's one of those players, when you least expect it, Thomas will slice you with a good little move and then can hit it with both feet. Thomas pushed off the ball, doesn't go down. Tried to square it, taken away by Kingdom. One back by Thomas. Yeah, a little too many touches that time. He always finds a way to be around it. Here's Kotlov. Kotlov with the winner in the 2012 National Championship game against Georgetown to give Indiana their 8th star.
That's wide ball!
Wittenbrink will head it back to Lomelli. Lomelli comes over. Great feet on Lomelli, too. Straight downhill, Indiana for the winner. That looked like a handball. Nobody complaining about it, so I clearly had that wrong. Kingdom FC. Gordy Gerson. And it's ripped away there by Joshua Gatt. want to thank Austin Coates, the fine PR man for the Indiana Hoosiers, for his amazing info, getting us ready. Never an off day when you work for Indiana men's soccer, because they're always making news, good news.
Foul there, ref! You're roughing!
Player down for Kingdom FC. Trophy back up. And he might be the chosen one, as they, I think, are now going to go to 4v4. They are 4v4. So
And
Thomas
on five, that's a final.
Alinvi, Joris Alinvi, has played
Come on, boys.
2019 limited time, did score 2 goals. Alinvi, number 11.
Beat Vieta FC
Schmidt,
6-2
one of the 4 for Kingdom.
with a goal in the 41st minute.
Thomas, Alinvi, Gutyar, and Lomeli are the 4 chosen ones right now for Indiana. Now Thomas. Alinvi making the overlapping run. He's open. Alinvi for the winner! And knocked away. It'll be a corner kick, Indiana.
You got Frankie. Let's go.
Young and old people are absolutely loving the TST. And it's going to blow up through the weekend. Thomas! Oh, denied! Thomas knocking on the door as we're down to 4v4 with a target score of 5, and Hoosier Army leading Kingdom FC 4-2.
And currently the score.
Frankie Moore slides over. Oh, wow! Smoked home. Kingdom FC. All 3 of their goals. That's Alex Ramos wearing number 7. Absolutely hammered. As it's wide open, and it's anybody's game right now. Ramos with the beautiful finish. Played for Iona and then spent time in Mexico with Pachuca and Leon. So here we go, 4-3, still with a target of 5. Wittenbrink now on for Indiana. Wittenbrink gonna try to do it here. Nope. And quickly going the other way. Kingdom FC on the counter. It is wide open. Wide open, passed over, oh my. Probably should have been 4-4 right there. Tremendous play by Adam Abdalawi as he dropped it over and found Nathan Bordeaux, but Bordeaux essentially missed a sitter to tie it. When you can see Frankie Moore finally showing a little bit of fatigue. It's their 2nd game, and he's only been out a little bit. And it's a lot to ask to kind of be the main man, and their former Big Ten Defender of the Year, Grant Lillard, did not look like he was a man that was planning on coming back into the game when he left it. Lomeli all the way forward. Lomeli still available. This is part of the game, 4v4. Lomeli fakes it. Wittenbrink. Back to Lomeli. Wittenbrink. Step over, Wittenbrink. Turning, Wittenbrink! Oh, so close to Penguin time. Instead, it stays at 4-3. Abdalawi, kind of a one-person wrecking crew, overhits that one, and Lomeli has been tested to his core. Target score is 5. They are now at 4v4. We have seen 3v3 on this field. We have not seen 2v2. This is Gatt. Back over, lurking. And Kotlov into the game. So we'll see. Again, the fact that perhaps a little bit more qualified depth for Indiana, as you're seeing, now you do see Kingdom make some changes. They needed to, as some of those legs were tired. Abdel had been outstanding. As coming all the way forward is the goalkeeper, Mitchell Cupstas. He's at midfield, just as Lomeli was. I'll tell you what, Kingdom ties this, and you just don't know. And Lomeli with another save. Christian Lomeli. Save after save after save. He may need to make another one here, and pushed off the ball. So over the ball now. Kingdom FC. Daniel Steedman suffered a pretty major knee injury while playing for North Carolina FC and looked pretty good. Steedman back on his right foot, and he'll sky it. So Indiana's got it, as now I think we're going to 3v3. So I had field 3 the first 4 games earlier today, and we got to 4. We never got to 3, but I know this field has seen 3 now 2 times. Last time it happened, the goalkeeper ended the game. So Lomeli's going to make a run here. This is such an important part of what you bring here. You cannot just bring a big old rock and goal. You got to be able to do things like this as Lomeli comes forward and knocks it to Kotlov. Now they got to get back and get ready. It's 3v3. Turned over. Olinvi. And Olinvi. Oh, they're going to call it before he got into the 18. And they'll bring it back. Kingdom FC. Looked like he may have given a card to somebody. To who? So yellow card was issued to a Kingdom FC player. Lomeli, Olinvi, and Gutyar. Lomeli and Gutyar on the Indiana coaching staff. Kevin Robeson, the assistant, Todd Yeagley, the head coach for this Hoosier Army team. It's 3v3 on a 7v7 field. Lomeli gets set. Oh, we're tied. We said this Kingdom FC team was not going away, and it is tied. Luke Holmes has done it again. Really special player. I'm telling you, all 4 of the goals for Kingdom FC have hit side netting, I do believe. They have been a touch of class. And 4-2 entering target scorer time, but Kingdom FC has not panicked. And at 3v3, Luke Holmes, special finish. So now Lomeli has got it. 3v3, Lomeli. Lomeli denied, rebound, oh, stumble. Oh no, Pancho. And they'll point to the spot as Pancho gets taken down. And we're going to take a look at the clock right now. And it looks like they're pointing to the spot. Olinvi, Pancho interested. But it's going to be Joris Olinvi. And they're down to 2 as well. And might be a red. Okay, so just a yellow. Wasn't sure if See if Michael knows who got that yellow prior to this one. Holmes definitely got that one. Oh, it's not a penalty. So I stand corrected.
And on field 4, fans, a big kick for Hoosier Army upcoming. Again, the score, Hoosier Army 4, Kingdom FC
All right, so
3.
clearly I believe what they did is played it back to the goalie. And that's what's going on right here. So now Lomelli. All right, so here's the concern. Lomelli's got to be careful. Yeah, so he's going to go ahead and take the shot because right now the goal is open. Lomelli, Olinvi, and denied. That'll be a corner. Tremendous save right there by number 13, Alberto Roldan, who also scored a wonderful goal.
Elsewhere, fans, on field 1.
Olinvi back to Lomelli. Lomelli
inside the stadium.
Takes a look. Lomelli. Olinvi back. Pancho! Pancho! No! Denied! Lomelli wins it back. Lomelli. Olinvi. Pancho again. Back to Olinvi. Olinvi! No! Did they say that was touched? They're going to go 2v2 now. So how do you do it 2v2?
And fans on field 4,
it'll be Lomelli.
One of the first of the day, 2-on-2 action.
Yeah, the first of the day they're saying 2v2. Oh, Pancho. Thought he had it. This is nuts. Nikita Kotlov.
The current score, Hoosier Army 4.
Good nuts.
FC 3, target score of 5.
So Lomelli and Kotlov. Lomelli. Lomelli! Oh, and denied again. Kotlov denied. Another corner kick, Indiana. And it's time to give some love to Mitchell Cupstas. That man right there who's been really good. Talked a lot about Lomelli, but Cupstas has been outstanding. Kotlov, back to Lomelli again. Lomelli, yes! And the Hoosier Army wins it 5-4. Christian Lomelli and Hoosier Army wins their second game. They got 6 points. The agony of defeat for Mitchell Cupstas. Soak it in on TST.
Hoosier Army with their second win today, now just 5 wins away from the
Christian Lomelli, he might be headed overseas after this tournament. He has been outstanding. A key assistant on the super successful Indiana staff, was the star of the first half, and big smiles there. You see Cody Calafiori, really nice young man out of Temple. His brother Paulie sitting out this one. Lomelli absolutely spent, and he gets the winner, and the 2 goalkeepers. That is pretty cool. Lomelli was all about the rules as well. Wow, I feel like we could stay here all day. The game winner and player of the game, Christian Lomelli, game winner in 2v2, and too many saves to keep track of. As Jeremiah Gutyar, those 2 on the staff. There's Todd Yeagley, Patrick Duty, all celebrating. I want to thank Nick Forbes and our amazing crew on this one. Also want to thank our stat man, Mike Glennon, for all of them. And all of you, I'm Dean Linke. Your final score, target time, Hoosier Army 5, Kingdom FC 4.